The subtle art of dressing as a man. I really wanted that intro to look really like interesting, but honestly, bro, I just wanted to show y'all this new like landscape that I kind of want to start creating with, that is gonna feel more like a podcast series more than these like super hardcore videos that you gotta watch. So this kind of could just be played in the background while you're doing something, but if you're somebody that's interested in fashion or just life in general, this is going to be a cool little series for you. And I think it'd be easier for me to make videos like this. So without further ado, let's hop into the topic. And I wanted to start off by saying I seen this video as a topic while just scrolling through fashion YouTube videos on YouTube, but this video idea came from Kiki Agbor, and I wanted to shout him out because without that video I don't think I would have made this, and sometimes I just need things to kind of like freestyle off of. So his video was really cool. I didn't watch the full thing. I only watched like the first maybe like few minutes of it, and he kind of took a different take than I initially thought about when I thought about the topic. So his perspective on this was kind of geared towards how fashion started off as, and then what it evolved to. So he kind of gave more points about like how back in the day we used to wear skirts and purses, and it used to look really masculine because that's what men would wear. And then we kind of evolved into this like industrial time period to where men were just wearing like shirts, pants, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So then that kind of evolved into like, oh, the tough guys or the manly men are wearing t-shirts and short, like, you know what I'm saying? And it took away from what fashion as an expression once was in society. So that was his perspective. I have my own perspective on this topic, which again is the art of dressing as a man. And one of the things that I really first thought about when it came to this topic was just how we get into fashion and how we sort of go from this point from being beginner to advance. So I think this kind of can make sense to whether you're at like just getting into fashion or you're kind of like been in it for a while and kind of advanced at it. But I think one of the biggest things when it comes to the art of dressing is it's more so about the process of finding your style where the art lies. Like that's really where you can find the art in fashion. It's the process between you not knowing anything to trying to achieve this goal or this kind of like hierarchy in fashion style or knowledge. Like it's one of those things where it's like the process is more important than the end goal, because truth be told, there's never really an end goal in this joint, bro. Like we're all just learning as we go. It's just some people have experimented and been in it longer than others, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really one of those things where it's like somebody has it all figured out. I know it can seem like that from a beginner's perspective, but that's not the case, bro. Like I've been doing this for a very long time, and to this day I still be experimenting and adding more things into my like weapon wheel, you know what I'm saying? Like I really just still am, I guess I'm not really reaching for something, but I think I'm now enjoying more about like how I get into things and how I naturally evolve. So that's the first topic. I do got topics on my phone, so periodically y'all see me like check my phone or something like that. But that's the first topic. And the second topic I wanted to talk about is kind of one that I've been preaching for a while, but it's gonna be your comfort. And when I say comfort, I mean that both physically and mentally. I think one of the biggest things when it comes to dressing as a man is being able to feel confident in whatever you're wearing. I know that sounds so cliche and everybody says it, but it really does play a big role in at least how you start evolving as a man in the fashion world. So you kind of balance along this line of experimenting and pushing your comfort zone every time you get dressed. So obviously physically you have to be comfortable in things, but if you can pay more attention to things like fit and things like proportion and how you can maybe take something that you're comfortable with and slightly tweak it into more of the direction that you want to go. Like, let's say you are just getting into fashion and you really like avant-garde style, but there's no way for you to just go from like here to avant-garde style and be fully confident and comfortable right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of got to take these steps in between. So maybe one thing you can do is maybe like experiment with different sizes and different proportions, but maybe just start off with pants first before you get too crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, and then after you get comfortable wearing the pants out and often enough, now you can like maybe add a crazy chunky boot. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like you can baby step your way into wearing a full avant-garde fit instead of feeling like you have to go straight from point A to point Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of steps in between that make it easier for you. Not saying that you can't jump from one point to the other quickly, but I think that it puts a lot of people in shock and then turns them off once they get this new reaction of their new style. So yeah, man, physical comfort and mental comfort is a huge role when it comes to stuff like this. Next, we got point of reference. Point of reference is something that's very important when it comes to just being an artist in general. Like, sometimes you really don't know what you don't know until you start aiming at something. So sometimes if you have a certain style that you like, it's easier to pull inspiration from that so that you can now have kind of like a target to shoot at, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, people it's usually harder to just like start shooting your gun and hit something when you don't know what you're aiming at. So I would say grab you some point of references that you feel like looks like you, but maybe an evolved version of you. I think we all kind of got this idea of us in our mind that is like your final version. And if you can find references that can bring you closer to, maybe closer and clearer of what that final version is, that's what you should start building off of, if that makes sense. So point of references are very important. It will also help you just navigate where you are in life. Like, I have so many mood boards and so many pictures that I've saved, and if I look at when I first started mood boarding to like now, even what I look at is just has evolved so much. So point of reference is a really cool way to kind of go about starting your style journey. I feel like this next topic is perfect to follow up from point of reference, but this next topic is pretty much going to be start creating. And when I say start creating, I literally mean just start putting fits together, bro. Like, don't put so much pressure on making the right thing. Just start making things in general, and then you will start to find out what you like and what you don't like. And there's this famous clip or quote from Rick Owens, and it's basically him in this interview, and he's talking about, he basically says, like, just start making clothes. Like, forget everything else, just start making clothes so you can get good at making clothes, and then you can go back and curate the creations that you actually like. And that's very insightful for anybody who's just an artist in general, because I think sometimes we get so stuck in our minds about what's good and what's not, whether it's personal preference or societal standards. Like, sometimes we just get so deep into the things that we're making instead of just making things. Like, this also eliminates writer's block in a sense, or like, you know, when you go through like a creative rut and you're just like, dang bro, I can't make anything that's good. That's only because you're trying to make things that are good, which there's nothing wrong with that, so to speak. But sometimes if you just make things and take the expectation away from it and just start creating, usually you'll navigate towards just being a better creator, and B, making more things that you like. You know what I'm saying? So I say all this to say, start throwing things at the wall and see what sticks, and then you can just curate what sticks and then show that to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can create fits all day up in your room, bro. That don't mean you gotta pop out in those fits if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Maybe take pictures of your outfits, log them, and then that way you can kind of see what you like and what you don't like. Too easy, bro. I really be giving y'all the sauce, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, next topic, we got learning fashion history. And this is one that's optional, and I don't think it's really necessary, especially to get started, but it can help you when it comes to your creative process, because sometimes when you go through and you look at how other pieces of art is made, it'll make you better at making art. You know what I'm saying? So like, sometimes you can look at fashion history, or you can like maybe dive down a rabbit hole of just a certain designer or a certain stylist or a certain creative, and when you start to see their perspective on how they started creating art, bro, it really just will change how you're looking at your art. Or they will give you some like perspective on maybe what you want to create versus what you don't want to create. Like, sometimes, like I said earlier, you kind of don't know what you like until you're presented with what you do like and what you don't like, and now you can easily choose. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, say you're going through a list of questions and they're yes and no answers, and then like, once you can easily answer the small questions, it usually leads up to whatever bigger picture is truly representative of yourself. So that's kind of how I look at learning art history, is like, you get to see these different avenues and these different perspectives, and then you get to grab things that maybe you like over here or that you don't like, and then you can kind of just navigate your own design language in a sense, or I guess in this topic it'd be your style language. But yeah, I think it's all just a learning process, bro, and I think that that's pretty much my approach to this whole topic. And yeah, I really want to start making more videos like this, to where I can just like set the camera up, record, it's low pressure. I can kind of get my ideas out there, and then y'all can hear from me more often. I think sometimes, this is kind of ironic, but I think sometimes I think too hard about creating content, that I end up not creating it instead of just making something and putting it out there. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this kind of like sit down podcast yap session. But I'll make more videos that aren't like this as well. This just has to like get me in the swing of things, bro, because I've just been off the internet for so long doing other ventures in my life that sometimes it's hard to get back into a groove. But that's pretty much it for the video, man. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be back to y'all with more. Peace.